What's good, y'all? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. It's Marcus Frage from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. And I would like to welcome you to another episode of Teachable Tuesday Shorts, where in 5 minutes or less, I do my best to talk to you guys about a topic that has come to my mind, maybe something I was inspired by, or something that you guys wanted me to talk about from the community. And today, got a very short topic, and I want to talk to you about the importance of not giving your heart away too fast. Now, if you're any person who used to be like me, you are probably a lover boy or a lover girl, and when you fall for somebody, instantly you start thinking about futuristic possibilities with that person, right? You start jumping to the conclusion of, I want to put the ring on her finger, or I want him to put a ring on my finger, before y'all even went out on y'all second or third date. And that is the tragic flaw of a lot of people who just love hard. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with loving hard. I think that is a very, admirable quality to have. But I think it's very important to understand that you can't give your heart to any old body. Now, I'm not saying you gotta be this cold individual and whatnot, but you got to understand the importance of slowing the process down, right? Because there's a major difference between infatuation and actually being truly in love with someone. Infatuation is more so the idea of how you feel about somebody, meaning you don't really know that person, but you kind of get a general idea from maybe a few interactions with them, or maybe just based on their looks. Right? Which can kind of be worse, because you could have somebody that looks good, but they have an ugly attitude. But then being in love with somebody is truly understanding who they are, top up to top down, knowing how their personality is, knowing how their flaws are, and even in spite of that, still being willing to appreciate that person, because you not only feel a connection with that person, but you understand that although things are not perfect, things can be perfectly aligned between you two to where things will work out. That's when being in love is a factor. And I think a lot of times, and a lot of people, both men and women, they fall for individuals way too fast because they just want somebody to love. But not only that, but they just have a habit of loving hard. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine a little while back ago, and I was telling her the importance of making sure you don't fall for somebody so fast. It's okay to build a connection with people. It's okay to want to get to know people. And it's okay for your feelings to feel. But it's not okay to give your heart away so fast that it gets to a point to where you end up losing yourself in the process. In my personal opinion, I don't think anybody should be giving 100% of their heart away to anybody unless they are in a committed relationship and that relationship has been going on for quite some time. I think there should be what I call a slow burn. I've talked about it briefly on this channel before. That is when things happen in a slow and steady pace. And this is a good thing for two reasons. Number one, if it does work out, it's something that's everlasting and it's a bit harder to break. But also, number two, if things don't work out, your heart is not as broken as it was if you were to just handed all of it away. Because if you hand all of your heart away, you're going to be left collecting the pieces, and it's going to take you longer to collect the pieces just for the simple fact that you gave it all away, right? You got to be very careful about that. You got to be very mindful of that. And most importantly, you have to understand that everybody does not deserve your heart. Now, I'm not saying that the people that don't deserve your heart are bad people, but you don't want to be giving your heart to people that you're not compatible with. You don't want to give your heart to people that don't have your best interests at heart, right? And one more thing that I want people to consider that I think is very important. I think when it comes to giving your heart away, you have to be for certain that you are in a position to where you have a heart to give. And that means before you jump into any stage of getting to know somebody, make sure that your heart is actually healed before you move on to the next person. Because if it's not, and I'm not saying it has to be 100% healed, but if it's not healed to a certain point, there can be challenges ahead. All right, that's it for this video. It's Marcus Frage from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, inspire you to be a better you. Love you guys. Have a great day.